Welcome back to LittleLee and Rose. My name is Summer Noel, and today we're going to work on a tumbler with a lid. Now, in my Facebook group, I've been getting requests to show how I work on the lids to be able to epoxy glitter and keep them beautiful and how I work with them. So this is going to serve as a directive tutorial on how to show my members how to work on this cup. Now, I've already got this cup base painted. It's been sanded, washed, cleaned, and painted. If you don't know how to prep a cup, go ahead and jump on my channel. Below this video, you can see the word LittleLee and Rose. Click on that. It will take you to my whole channel. Scroll back through, and at the very beginning of my channel, I have a tutorial that will teach you how to prep the cup and get it ready for working. That will bring you up to speed with where we're at. There's also a few tutorials there on how to spray paint without drips and all kinds of wonderful things you should check out. I'm going to just jump right into this cup because most of my viewers have done this before and have seen me do it many times. So I've got the base painted white and black. We are going to be working with Bo on the top and Tristan on the bottom. So I black base painted because Tristan is our super dark midnight blue. So the black backing is going to be the best for that. Then we've got Poncho and we've got Rocket. These are all part of the LittleLee and Rose glitter collection. You can find them on littleLeeandRose.com. I'm going to just jump right in. I'm going to start showing you guys the ropes. All right, guys, I'm going to clean up. I'm going to get set up and we're going to get started. All right, guys, here we are. We have our drying rack all set up with our cup on it. If you don't have a drying rack, I also have a tutorial for this. So go ahead and look back on that channel station, my channel, and find that tutorial. It's very easy to make and follow. I'm very specific, and I tell you exactly what little pieces and bits you need from the hardware store. And to build it, it's very easy. Anybody can do it. So here we are. We're going to be mixing our epoxy. I normally would be wearing a chemical mask, guys. You want to make sure you safeguard yourself. So if you are inside a building, make sure you wear a chemical mask. I am not wearing one because I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but my huge fan is going, sucking the air out of this room and replacing it with fresh air from outside. And I also have my workshop wide open. So I am definitely ventilated and will not be inhaling any of these fumes because they're being sucked away from me as fast as they come out. But the fumes that emit when the epoxy is being mixed, you do not want to be breathing those in. So make sure you wear a chemical mask or you're in a very well ventilated area. And I don't just mean outside. If you're outside, you still need a fan blowing to move the chemical vapors away from you. Now I've got more than I need here, but I'm doing more than one cup. I've got a few cups off screen that need some epoxy right now. So I'm going to get this tutorial running and I'm going to keep on going with my other cups. As you can see, I am scraping the sides of the container, the bottom of the little cup. I'm making sure all the epoxy gets really well mixed. Now there's a lot of bubbles in this one, but I'm not going to worry about it because when you do the hang method, the bubbles all go away because it's so stinking thin. So this is part A and part B of an epoxy. I'm going to put about 2 mLs worth on top of the cup. It's not a lot, you guys. That's all you need right there. This I'm saving for another cup. And then we start working this around and down the edges. So basically what we're doing is we're giving ourselves a very thin, sticky surface that this glitter will grab onto very well and stick down to, and then as it cures, it really holds that glitter in place. I just personally like this method. You can use spray adhesive, Mod Podge. I'm not a fan of Mod Podge, you guys, because I feel like you need to do just too many layers of Mod Podge. But with this one, I only need, if I base coat correctly, like this, how I've base coated with the white and the black to accent the colors I'm using, I will only need 1 layer of glitter. So you are saving on products, you're saving your money, you're saving money that you can either keep your margin higher if you're selling cups, or just your gift price. If you're just making these as a hobby, it keeps your price a little bit lower. So you see, I'm just rubbing here and just bringing it down. It does take some elbow grease, guys. Your arm should start burning. You just keep rubbing and bringing that fluid down to the bottom. And if your finger is sticking, you can feel it kind of like hit a stick spot. That means it's not slippery because it's not coated with epoxy. Once your finger runs smooth and glides over the entire surface of the cup, you will know that the cup is then completely coated. You can also use the shininess of the epoxy. You can kind of spin the cup and look at it to see where there's areas that might not have coverage because it will lose its shine. It will be dull. It won't be shiny because I use matte finish spray paint. All right, so now we've got this cup. Excuse me. Now we've got this cup spray painted and covered with the epoxy, and I'm going to get this set up and we're going to go ahead and add the glitter. Okay, guys, so what I did was I just grabbed the whole cup with my hand and shoved it on my turner arm. Now, the LittleLee and Rose turner, that's why I love these. The handles are great. The foam is nice and large inside, and it's a compressible foam. So I just compressed the foam, slid the cup on it, and now I can use it as my arm while I do the rest of my work on it. And then once I'm done adding the glitter, I could just slide the arm onto my turner and get it rolling. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna do the bottom. This is gonna be Tristan. We're just going to sprinkle him on. We've got our parchment paper down to catch all the fallout so we don't waste any glitter. We're just going to sprinkle him around. We're going to leave that 1 little inch in the middle kind of open for our ombre. It doesn't matter too much because we're going to be covering up that middle section anyway, but I'm kind of a perfectionist, so we will just do it the right way all the time. All right, check the butt, make sure there's a lot of glitter on there. There is, sure is. A little more here. Tip, tip, tip. I want to bring the blue up just a little higher. I don't want it to be just that little tiny section in the bottom. So we will go ahead and just carefully rotate and add just that little bit more. All right, that's much better. Then you tap the handle. That will help knock off any loose glitter. Then I'm going to take my parchment paper. This is the pre-folded parchment paper, guys. It makes it really easy to pick up and move because the folds are already in there. And I can set this to the side and clean it all up later. All right, now we're going to move right into bow on the top. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring bow right down until that last little inch. And leave that empty. Just concentrating so hard. All right, and I'm not gonna tap this one because I don't want to contaminate and accidentally drop some of the dark blue. You can already see there's a little bit. Push that out. We don't want those contaminants in there when we put bow back and put them away. We're gonna fold them up, tuck them in there neatly, set them off to the side. Now we're gonna take our glitter shaker. Inside this little glitter shaker, this is a glitter ombre shaker, again, found on our website, LittleLeeandRose.com. I put a little bit of bow and a little bit of Tristan, and what we're gonna do is we're now gonna fill in that middle part. I'm gonna hold it a few inches away, and I'm just gonna shimmy and tap and rotate. But again, this is more just to show you guys the ombre of this part because we're gonna kind of cover all this up. So we're just kind of showing you this as an example. If you want to just try to do an ombre cup with a dark and light color, this is how you would do it. Because see how beautiful that ombre becomes? Leave that middle inch open, tap, tap, tap with your little ombre shaker. It just comes out as a nice fine fall, and it just does a perfect ombre. Okay, that's absolutely gorgeous. Set my little shaker off to the side. Now this big, thick, chunky glitter tends to stick up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press it down to that epoxy. I'm just gonna grab it and squeeze, and it's basically gonna press all those glitter pieces down flat. And I'm gonna press here in the middle, make sure they all set flat. This way you use a lot less epoxy to try to cover it. If you leave your glitter standing up, it's gonna take quite a bit of glitter to cover that space. All right, so we are gonna go ahead and get this on the turner and we'll get it into epoxy. Oh no, sorry, we gotta wait. You have to wait about 4 hours to let that epoxy underneath it cure up just a touch, and then we'll put it on the turner. All right, guys, I almost forgot this step. But before, because I went to go use the extra bit of epoxy and I was like, wow, I need that. I forgot to show them the lid. So this is going to be basically the same idea, but we're really going to only use 1 ml. This is going to be half of what you did because this is a much smaller surface area. We are just going to rub this all the way around and use my fingernail to get in there right up next to that silicone straw. Rub the sides. It's basically just like a tricky hang method. So just keep working that epoxy. 1 ml is actually going to probably be too much, but because this is going to be covered with glitter, you won't be able to see if there's ripples in it, because this is not a top coat. This is an undercoat that the glitter is just meant to stick to. All right, I'm going to put that down, clean off my finger with a paper towel. I always keep a roll of paper towels handy. Okay. Then we're just going to take bow. We're going to open back up our fun little parchment paper here. Super fun. Doo-doo-doo. Sprinkle the edges. Scoop, pour. Scooping and pouring, scooping and pouring. And then tap off the excess. Just like that. We're going to let it sit, and I will show you guys in a bit how to attach this onto your turner. See you soon. All right, guys, now what we're going to do is we are going to use our electrical tape, and we're going to tape off our line down at the bottom to give us a really nice straight line. I'm going to be using my black, just any black electrical tape. You can even get this in the hardware department of your Dollar Tree or dollar store, any dollar store. I think most of them have electrical tape. I've never been to a dollar store that does not. So if you have a dollar store close to you, grab some electrical tape there. If not, you can always find it at Home Depot. So what I'm going to do is I cut a big nice piece off, and I like electrical tape for this because you can kind of stretch it and move it. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off a line, a straight line going all the way around the cup, kind of right on that ombre line. That's why I said it doesn't really matter if your ombre is perfect, because we're really going to kind of cover up the ombre anyway. And then we're going to bring it down like you see me always do. I'm going to make a little pull tab, so it's easy to just grab and pull up. Then this bottom half, I'm just going to cover it with painter's tape, because it's a wider, it's a lot wider tape, so it's easier to cover more space. And oops, that painter's tape fail. Hang on. You can cover a lot more space with the painter's tape. So that's why we're going to go with that option. We're just really protecting it from any paints or adhesives or anything. Make sure it's pressed down so it has a good seal so the paint doesn't get in any of the cracks. And I'm going to put a little bit over the bottom, because you can kind of, if you're a really good painter, you can avoid, you don't have to do the extra little step to cover the bottom. But I'm telling you, inevitably, a little bit of that paint, like dust, will blow in the wind and land on the bottom, and then you've got to clean it off, and it is a total pain. So you can't, you don't have to tape the bottom, but I do, because it's not worth the 10 minutes of me grumbling while I'm trying to wash off the bottom of the cup from the little bit of dust that might have, of paint, the little overspray of paint that goes down there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are gonna take this beautiful cup outside, and I am gonna take my spray adhesive, Scotch Super 77. You can use Scotch Super 77. Kmart has a tack. Krylon has a spray adhesive, pretty much any spray adhesive. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna aim for this line. We're not gonna try to spray up here. We're only gonna aim to spray one spray around the cup on this section. We're trying to hit about this much space. If you get some up here, it's okay. We're not gonna worry about that. But really, we're just focusing kind of in this area, but we know it's gonna overspray a little bit, but we're not gonna go crazy and actually spray up here. We're just gonna do one spray all the way around the cup right at this line. I'm gonna unpin my arm from my turner. I'm gonna use my arm as my handle brush. I'm gonna take it outside. I'm gonna rotate it and spray one spray down the middle, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we got a paintbrush. This is one of the paintbrushes from the hardware department in the dollar store, guys. I like this one. It's kind of got stiff plastic bristles. We're gonna just kind of dust just a touch of this off because it got a little too much. And then we're going to do it one more time. Just add just a little sprinkle. Because I shimmied down the cup a little too far. And I want it just right about here. Just like that. Okay, then I'm going to press it down to the adhesive to make sure it gets gripped real well. This pressing just lays down that glitter flat, just like it would if you did hang method. But I don't have epoxy on the cup right now, so I do not need to be wearing gloves. It's just spray adhesive. So this is not epoxy, guys. I'm not bare handsing my epoxy. Perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to take it outside, and I'm going to put a clear coat spray finish over the top of this. I'm going to dust off any of these extra little bits of glitter that are up a little higher than I wanted them. Just a little tiny few little pieces. Then I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to spray it with spray adhesive. And the spray adhesive is going to hold, clear coat spray paint. And the clear coat spray paint is going to hold that glitter in place. All right, guys, we'll be right back. All right, you guys, we have got our epoxy mixed here. We've got our epoxy part A and B. I'm going to mix it together. I am already wearing my chemical mask because I do have my workshop closed up. And the ventilation is on, but the workshop doors are closed. So I'm going to go ahead and wear my chemical mask for safety. I'm just stirring it up. I'm not worried about bubbles because we're going to be doing the hang method. And so it's going to be a super duper thin layer, and bubbles won't exist anyway. Because when you're doing a hang method layer over the top, it should be so thin that it can't even have a bubble in it. So we're not worried about bubbles. We just want to make sure it's really well mixed. Scrape the sides real well. Scrape off your stick. Make sure we get all that stirred in real well so we don't have any soft spots or parts that don't cure. All right, here we go. Take our paper towel. Wipe off our stir stick. Save it for in just a second. We're going to need it again. Then, because this is on a white base, I almost forgot it on the last one. I kind of jerry-rigged it in there on the last one. But because this is because this is a white-based cup. Sorry, I lost my words there for a sec. Because this is a white-based cup, guys, we want to add a little blue dye to the mixed epoxy. So this is just gel blue food coloring. You can use any food coloring. I like the gel because it seems less messy. It stays a little bit more contained. You can see I'm just mixing that in. Off that toothpick, it turns it a very, very pale blue. But you can't see it on the cup. This cup already has some of the blue in it, and you can't see it. Now you do see the color shifting of that beautiful white. It has a slight color shift with the dark base. So it's really pretty. It's accenting this poncho. This one is color shifting up to pink because it's reacting to the pink off here. And it really starts doing a beautiful blend for that. So we've got the blue all mixed in. Let's chuck that toothpick to the side. One little quick stir. Make sure it's in there good. Clean it off again. And now we're going to do the hang method. The hang method means it's just something I kind of made up. And you hang your cup upside down and you dip your finger in the epoxy. If you're working off the side, if you're working off the whole cup, you pour the epoxy here. Dip your finger in the epoxy and just smooth it over. But you got to use your finger while the cup hangs. So really we're just trying to seal this glitter down in there real good. I hope you guys are getting a good angle of this as I do this here. There we go. I'm really just putting the epoxy on the main pink glitter part first. I'm doing that because I want to cover that completely, then clean my finger off, because I don't want to contaminate and deal with all these little bits of pink glitter that might move or go all over the cup on my finger, like travel on my finger around the cup or down the cup. So I don't want them all over the top of the white part, just a little bit. So I will clean any little bits of pink glitter off my glove, and then we'll cover the white. We'll do the hang method on the white part. So I'm just going to go and press real firm and go all the way around. That's going to make sure that that layer of epoxy is nice and thin so it doesn't droop. If it droops because it's trying to move down the cup because you've added too much, your problem with that is going to be that you're going to get ripples in the cup, which it's not too big of a deal at this point of the stage of the game, because I'm cleaning off my finger, guys, because at this point in the game, we're still going to be putting more layers of epoxy over the top, but you know, I don't want to make my life harder. Let's make it smarter. Let's work smarter, not harder. So now we're just going to add a super thin layer to the white part, just to keep it uniformed. You can't do a patch of epoxy, guys. So I can't just stop the epoxy there, otherwise you will see the line. Even if it's a thin layer, you will still see that line. So we have to coat the whole part, the whole section, not just the pink part, to avoid seeing a break in a line where the epoxy was. It doesn't have to be a lot, guys. Like I said, I'm just literally using drips of epoxy. All right, now I feel confident that we've got this. All right. Again, I'm going to clean off my glove finger. I'm going to set this extra epoxy to the side. I'm always working on other projects at the same time alongside others, so I will use that for another one. And we're going to pull this tape off. Let's see, I need my tweezers. So let's do the big reveal here. You want to pull the tape off immediately because that epoxy will cure up over that electrical tape. And then you'll be in an uh-oh trying to figure out a happy accident by pulling that off. Something went a little bit weird there. It looks like the tape left a little bit of sticky behind. I'll have to clean that off. Oops. Looks like I maybe taped it off a little early. We got about 6 hours on this cup. Maybe I should have waited 7, but I wanted to get this tutorial out to you guys, so I'm always rushing because it's such a cool one. This is a beautiful cup, by the way. Again, these styles that I do, this design on this cup could be done on any shape cup. It does not have to be this style cup. All right. So right now this seems to be goofy. It seems a little bit like, what? That's weird. This doesn't look like anything, but wait till you see the next step, guys. It's going to really start transforming the cup. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are actually going to leave this cup to cure overnight. I'm going to leave it mainly because we had a little issue here. It was a little tacky, and there's one little spot on the side where it looked like it was still a little tacky. So we're going to, because it hasn't been curing long enough, But we're going to let this whole cup cure up overnight, and we'll come back and do the next steps. It's really fun. It's fun already so far. I can't wait for you guys to see the rest. All right, guys. See you soon. All right. We are going to jump into the next step. We are going to take our electrical tape. You could use painter's tape or electrical tape. For this part, I choose electrical tape because it's going to mold over the top of the glitter better, because remember, we only have one little hang method of glitter over the top of this. We don't have tons and tons of epoxy. So what we're just going to do is, and you can see already, this is the electrical tape is already pressing down over the little bumps of the glitter. Just make sure it has, we don't even care if the seal on this side is tight. We just want this bottom half, this bottom piece, to be really well attached for our next stage, so we don't get any glitter contaminants in there. So I'm just basically following along the edge of the glitter, and I'm pressing down with my finger to hold it in place and to make sure that we get a really good seal. Then I'm going to cut. And you know me and my tabs, always leave a tab. Make life easy on yourself, guys. All right, then we are going to take some masking painter's tape, and we're going to tape off the top so that it doesn't get affected. It should be fine. This is a bit excessive, but again, I'd rather work a little smarter and not have any problems down the road. Whoops. So I'm just going to take this big, thick blue tape and roll it around the rest of this cup, just so nothing gets on this part. And it looks like I'm gonna need one last little piece, so I'm gonna add that one little piece, and we're gonna keep on going. Okay, so now you see we've got it taped off. The top is covered. I went along and did the exact same thing where I just sprayed the spray adhesive right along the line that I want to create. We're going to do something very similar to what we did before. I'm going to hold on to the cup and then let it shimmy. This is the rocket. The rocket. Okay. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing with the paintbrush, and we're going to slowly brush. Just gently go in there, and some of this is not even, it's just kind of sticking to the cup by static. So we just want to go in there and just make it a nice dusting. Kind of create the ombre that we want. Now, I could probably just keep tapping this and it would do its thing, but I'm a little bit too particular. So I'm just going to gently dust it off by hand. And that's looking good. There's a little too much right there. This is just me being very, very particular. Because I don't want to cover up all this dark blue on the bottom, guys. I want the like dripping glitter look, but I don't want it to go all the way to the bottom of the cup. All right, so that looks like we've just about got it. And then we're going to go ahead and press that glitter down because we want it nice and flat. Easier to cover with the epoxy. Because this is not epoxy underneath it that we used. We did not do this with the hang method. I did this with the spray adhesive. That's why I can touch it. If this was done with the hang method and you just put a little epoxy here, you definitely want to have a glove on when you do this step. Safety first, guys. Safety first. Okay, so that's stuck down real nice and flat. So now I'm going to actually go ahead and remove the tape. And this is going to be a fun reveal. There we go. Is that not cool looking? It's like a 2 separate cups stuck together. I really like this look. All right, so we are going to keep on going. We're going to let this one sit for a minute. Then we're going to go over and do a spray coat of clear sealant. And then we'll keep on rocking and rolling, guys. So we're just going to let this sit for probably about 5 hours. Make sure that tack is as cured up and solidified as it's going to get. It's a repositional tack, so it will never, it will always be slightly tacky, but we don't want it to be actually wet, because if it's kind of still wet looking underneath there, it's going to affect our epoxy. All right, guys, we'll be back. All right, guys, here we go. We've got the cup on the turner. We have a layer of clear spray paint over the top of the rose gold. We've got our toothpicks ready. We've got our epoxy ready to mix. We've got our blue dye. I've got my stir stick and my applicator brush. Now I'm going to take the toothpick. As you can see, this is an Envirotex, guys. I've been working with the Envirotex because you guys have been asking a lot of questions in the Facebook group about it. I've had it for about 2 weeks now, and you can see it's already yellowing. So take that with whatever advice you want. It's only been in my shop for 2 weeks and it's already yellow. It also has a very low heat temperature rating, so you can't use this for coasters or on single wall products, because if you put anything warm in it, it will warp and melt and possibly give some epoxy poisoning. So I will show you what I do. Because it's going on a white cup, the yellow will eventually show. I'm going to go ahead and stir this up, and then we're going to use some blue food coloring. This Envirotex also bubbles like crazy, so just be aware that you're going to have to really combat the bubbles and really combat the yellowing if you're working with this. If you're a skilled epoxy artist, it should be no problem. If you're a newbie, you're probably going to have a struggle with this epoxy. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I've got it down. Doesn't bother me at all. I can combat it, and I normally wouldn't use it on a white cup, but I wanted to show you guys this as an example, and I want to show you guys how to use the blue dye to help counterbalance the yellowing. So you can see I'm scraping around the outside edges. I've got my chemical mask on, my nitrile gloves, my stir stick. Starting to go clear, so that means we're getting there. You can see there's a lot of bubbling in there. That's fine. I don't worry about it. I stir violently because I'm going to go ahead and torch them out with my torches anyway. Perfect. Now you can see it's totally clear. That's what you're stirring for. You're stirring to see, you want to see the epoxy go clear. Yeah, there's a ton of bubbles in there, which make it look not clear, but the actual epoxy itself is run clear, which means it's ready to apply. So I'm going to take my stir stick and just lay it down on my silicone mat. Going to open my blue food coloring, guys. I'm going to take my toothpick. I'm going to stick it down in the hole. Get some blue on there, just enough, just that much. And we're going to swirl it into the epoxy. Just that little tiny toothpick touch of blue will counteract the yellow in the epoxy. It won't last forever, but it'll help it last a lot longer than than not using it. Go ahead and move those off to the side, and we are going to epoxy this cup. Oh, and we are working on the lid as well. So I will do hang method on the lid, and I will be doing the epoxy on the cup. All right, guys. Sorry, I've got a little bit of voice loss today, but I sound like a squawky, broken record. But we're just going to keep moving along on this. Now, I'm eventually going to show you guys how I clean up the edge. You can see I've done the hang method here. I'm going to show you how to clean that edge up. But now we're going to put our decals on. So we're going to take this. This is a little trick that I have kind of picked up along the way. If you need to make a straight line around your cup and you don't have the curve option of the silhouette, all you have to do is cut your vinyl. Instead of cutting vinyl, you use electrical tape, because electrical tape is bendable and flexible and can be stretched and manipulated a lot better than just plain old vinyl. So you can see I can turn it and twist it and lift it and pull it and tug it and get it to lay exactly where I want it to lay on my line. So it's going to give it a nice definition between the two glitters. We're coming up here to this side here. Ooh, let's be real careful with that. Don't want that tailing off on itself. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. I'm going to cut this edge because this just folded over on itself just a little bit. So I'm going to cut that little piece off, get it out of the way. And we're going to just take this and I'm going to bring it right up to that point and I'm going to cut it. So by doing that, so what I did was I actually overlapped the electrical tape just a smidge and then I cut it so there's no gap. It's actually overlapped a little bit, but you won't be able to see it. Okay, so now we've got our nice black line. Now on the Cricut, I cut these out on my Cricut. I use a Cricut, not a silhouette. That's why I need the little tricks for the straight lines around a curved cup. Then I've got this beautiful Strong Women decal. That's gonna go on there, but I'm gonna actually apply this in 2 pieces because it's long. All right, sorry guys, I had to cut that in half there. So we want to apply this in 2 pieces. The reason being is it's the same thing. If I try to put this big long decal down on this curved cup, because it's angled, it will curve funny on the cup. I want it to lay straight. So to get it to do that, I'm going to just do one word at a time. It'll lay down flatter and straighter with doing just one at a time. This is off-brand vinyl, guys. I made the mistake. You guys hear me say this in my videos. I made the mistake of buying it, and I refuse to just let it go. I have to use it. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm making it work. So I'm putting these letters right on that line, and I'm letting the G go up and over, because that is the look that I'm going for. Again, this is all personal style, guys. You lay your vinyl down how you like it. I'm really just showing you the style of cup, and I'm making this cup for a very special moderator of mine. We're doing a cup battle. So she's making me a cup, and I'm making her cup. Now, the reason I did the white background is so that it stands out really, really well. I want this to be a very easy to read cup. And I was going to do navy blue background, but then I realized down here the navy blue might get lost. And I knew that up here it would still work well. So I'm just putting this right up against the other one. And then we can snip it. If you're having a hard time getting it to, this one wants to curve. What you do is you cut that vinyl, the transfer tape, and that way the vinyl is more manipulatable. Flu brain is not going to let me pull that word out of my memory bank. It allows it to be manipulated better. How about that? Okay, so now we've got those beautiful, beautiful Strong Women. And then these super cute little... I designed this SVG, guys, so I will drop this in the Facebook group for free. And then the glitter will probably be in a glitter kit for you guys. Not probably, it will be. We will do a glitter kit for all y'all. Whoops. Strong Women. Ooh, well, I was going to put this under. I was going to put it over here, but it looks kind of funny. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of rechanging my design. On Cricut Design Space, I was going to have it offset to the side, but now it looks kind of funny, and I'm trying to decide if I should drop it down the middle. I'm having a moment. Hang on, guys. All right, guys, ultimately I decided to trust my gut, and I'm going to stick them where I originally designed them to be. I'm going to offset them just below the word women. And this says, know them, be them, raise them. This is just an empowering cup for women. Let's all raise and be and know amazing women. All right, so there we go. So now this cup, whoop, that little bit didn't get rubbed. That little dot doesn't want to stay down. There we go. All right, so beautiful. Oh, I'm going to want to keep this cup. I knew when I started this cup that I was going to want to keep this cup. I'm going to want to keep this cup, but I'm going to give it away. I'm going to give it away. Okay, so now we're going to set this all up. I'm going to jump off with you guys. I'm going to set up all my turners, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. I am in my chemical mask. So that's why I'm going to sound a little bit like Darth Vader and a broken cricket, because I've got no voice and I'm inside of a chemical mask. Sorry, I'm very squawky. So now we've got our part A and part B. We're going to go ahead and mix it. This layer is going to be counterculture. Not for any other particular reason other than I just can't find all the rest of my epoxy. We had the floors redone here at the workshop. Or done, not redone. We had the floors cleaned and done. And we moved everything, and now I can't find my epoxy. So counterculture is the only one I've been able to dig up and find. So that's what we're using. Okay, we're going to stir this really, really well. I don't worry about bubbles because I pop them with a torch, guys, so I stir quickly. I have very little patience for epoxy. I'm going to be showing you guys something really, really cool coming up soon. I've designed something super cool. I've seen it out. It's not my original idea, but it's my own original design that I've created. It's kind of launching off of the idea of something else somebody did, but it's completely unique to itself. It's really cool. I can't wait to show you guys. A little sneak verbiage. If you're catching a sneak peek of me, I am now officially in a, hi guys, I am in a full face chemical mask. Because my eyes started having a sensitivity. It started about 4 months ago, but I finally just committed and went into a full face chemical mask because the chemical masks don't tend to actually bother me wearing them. So just adding a screen just makes me feel safer and protected by my eyes. Plus, if I'm sanding and stuff, I don't have to put my safety goggles on. And you want to wear safety goggles, guys. We have a member of this group. While she was sanding epoxy, a piece popped up and hit her in the eyeball and got stuck and fused onto her eyeball. Doctors had to remove it. It was crazy. It was a dried piece of epoxy, but it grabbed onto her eye and stuck to her eyeball. That's real. That is not a made-up story. That is a member of our group. I'm not going to call her out or say her name. I don't know if she wants everyone to know what happened to her. It's super funny. She did talk about it in the group, but anyhow. Okay, we were all stirred up here, guys. Sorry, that was a really boring 30 seconds. Just making sure my tape is held down. It looked like it was lifting. Just going to double check it here. I didn't even see where it was lifting, so I must not be lifting. Okay, well, let's do this. So you saw me just put that toothpick in there. The epoxy is still clear. With that little tiny bit of blue. You want just the smallest amount, not even a drop, guys. You do not even want to use a drop. Smallest amount of blue will counteract any yellowing on this white part. So I'm just going to reach up here and grab one of my handy dandy silicone brushes, and we are going to start applying this. Always remember, guys, when you're working with your cups, you don't want to touch your cup with your bare hands. Don't touch your cups until you've got your gloves on, guys, because the epoxy does not like fingerprints. Fingerprints have oils, and the epoxy will repel away from that. Now, you can see I'm working with counterculture. It is thicker than most epoxies. I like it when I need to do a really heavy, dense coat, or it gets really humid. It's very rare it gets humid here. But it works well because it's so heavy.
So counterculture is a very, very thick resin. So we're just going to add this on. It took me an abnormal amount of time today, guys, to design this decal for you guys. I just kept screwing it up and saving it wrong, and the computer was having issues and glitches and problems. It was a mess, but we got it. All right, looks like we've got really good coverage up here. There we go. Make sure there's epoxy everywhere. Now we're going to get the bottom. Okay, we've got a little bit left over, which we're going to hang method onto the top. So we're going to let that sit like that. I'm just going to actually rub my finger. I want to make sure I can feel that the coverage is good. It looks a little funny. It's because all the different colors, which I love. But I just want to make sure that there's good coverage everywhere. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Maybe it's because I'm wearing a face mask for the first time. Okay, so here we go. We're going to jump right into torching this bad boy. All right, here we go. So when you guys are torching, I'm sure you've heard me say this a million times, you want to move quickly. You can burn epoxy. And if you burn your epoxy, it just looks like 1,000 little micro bubbles. So if you're torching and you're saying, there's all these micro bubbles and they won't pop, most likely what's happened is you have torched and paused for too long, and your torch has actually burned your epoxy, and now it looks like a gajillion little micro bubbles. That's what it does. Now the torch works better for this than a heat gun, guys, because the CO2 is what actually pops the bubbles, not the heat. It's the CO2 off the flame that pops the bubbles. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to do this we're going to do another coat on our lid. This is going to be a little hang method coat. We're just going to put a little bit on there. I'm going to end up having too much epoxy. We're just going to clean off our silicone brush, clean off our silicone stick, just like that. So that's our little trash pile. Now we're going to take this and we're just basically going to hang method this. I've got the silicone straw still sitting in the middle. Between each layer, I move it so that it doesn't get built up with epoxy. You don't want that. Now this will probably be our last layer of epoxy, and then we'll do, well, for now, then we're going to sand it and work on it. I'll show you guys how to work on the edges. Because when you're covering glitter with the hang method, you tend to have to use a little bit more epoxy, so you end up getting drips. So I'm going to show you guys how to counteract those drips, or how to remove and get rid of those drips. We're really just right now trying to get a good coverage on this glitter so that we can do a sanding on it and get it nice and smooth. Perfect. Okay. So now that'll sit. That's just, I just basically rubbed the epoxy on. We've got a little extra. I'll go make some buttons today. Add it to a button. We're going to let this just cruise out for probably till tomorrow morning. It's the evening now, so tomorrow morning I'll wake up, I'll check it, and we will probably film how to clean it up and sand it a little bit, and we'll see you soon, guys.
Okay, guys, I am so sorry, but I've got a squawky voice today. I've been ill and I lost my voice, so we are going to just bear with me as I kind of squeak and squawk through this one. So now we're going to work on this top. We've been doing kind of heavy layers of the hang method to coat the glitter. Usually when you do a hang method layer, you use 2 mLs. But when you're trying to go over glitter, you've got to use a little bit extra. So we're going to finesse this and then put our final coat on it. So you can see, because I used extra epoxy to get coverage on that glitter, we've got some drips here. So I've got my hot knife heating up. I'm working on my work mat. This is a Teflon mat. It repels epoxy. It will also work well with the heat of this tool if it gets warm. And sometimes I take just one of my stainless steel cups and I stick my hot knife down inside just to rest so that it's not on the countertop. All right, so we have that, and I stick that on my Teflon mat in case it gets warm. Then we're gonna also take our Drill Master tool, and we're gonna put on our mask. I'm gonna actually wear my full face chemical mask today, and then we are going to sand down the edge where we had our straw, and we're gonna finesse it a little bit.
All right, guys, so I've got my chemical mask on so we can start sanding. I'm wearing a full face chemical mask. That way I don't get any of the epoxy dust into my eyes or have any issues with that. I'm just going to wear all my PPE gear, make sure I'm super safe. So what I'm first going to start doing is I'm going to use my Drill Master. What I'm first going to do is I'm going to use my Drill Master, and we're going to go in and soften up this edge here and clean up where the straw is going to go in. Okay, so what that does is it just softens that edge right there along there, because when we have the straw in it and the epoxy butts up against the straw, it makes a little rough edge when you pull the straw out. So we just took this and we just cleaned up the edge of that surface just to make it smooth again. Now we are going to go ahead and use our hot knife. We're going to take our hot knife out. This is actually a wood burning tool. You can see mine has seen better days. I've had all kinds of weird accidents with it. If you are not comfortable using this tool, you guys just don't work with a style cup. This is a very, very hot tool. The heat of the knife will cut through the epoxy. It is a slow, steady process. And just like that, we cut off the drips. They use this for wood burning, but you want to definitely wear your chemical mask when you're doing this, because when you're heating it, you can actually see the steam come off. And that just means that you are... it's creating vapors that you don't want to be breathing in. So definitely wear your chemical mask when you're doing this part. Like I said, I've upgraded and switched to now using a full face chemical mask. So we're just going to go all the way around the lid of this cup, and we're going to slowly just work all these drips off the cup and clean it up. So these knives, you can find them on our Amazon shopping list, guys. We have them there for you guys for easy access to find the link and click. But you can also find hot knives at any craft store. These are, like I said, they're generally used for wood burning. So you'll find them kind of in the section like at Michael's with all the wood. I use this to clean up the edges of most of my cups if I have a rough edge on a cup, because it just cuts right through all the epoxy and leaves a nice smooth surface. You don't have an issue with it. Now, if this was a plastic lid, we wouldn't want to do this, guys, because this hot knife will melt the plastic, but it's a stainless steel lid, so we know we're okay to put the heat and apply the heat onto the rim of the cup. All right, I'm going to put you guys on high speed, because you get the point, and we're going to finish this little section out. All right, guys, so now I've cut a small strip of the 320 grit sandpaper. I'm still wearing my chemical mask. Now we're just going to take this and gently sand the entire surface of the cup. I'm sorry, the lid, not the cup. So you just want to do just a nice, gentle. You want to definitely work on your edges to make sure that the edges are smooth. So if I was to sell one of these cups, you guys, I would actually charge more for this cup because the lid takes a lot more work than a regular cup. Because of all this extra detail work to create this top and have it come out perfect and sanded and beautiful and smooth. It's just a little extra effort, so I charge more money. Doing a plain old cup is a million times easier. But there is workarounds, and that's why I'm trying to show you guys these fun options, like using the straw to hold the hole open so you don't have to deal with trying to clean that up. So we're just gonna rock and roll with this one. Okay, now you guys, what you just saw was me just cleaning up all the edges and sanding down and making it nice and smooth all the way around. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to wash it with Dawn soap and water. Then I'm going to let it completely dry. We don't want to have any water in the way, and we're going to do one more layer of hang method. All right, guys, coming up. Okay, guys, we've got it washed and dried very well. I've got my PPE on. I am not wearing my full face mask anymore. I'm wearing my regular, just my breathing mask because I'm not going to be sanding. So we're just going to keep it simple. We're literally just going to drizzle like what's on the end of this spatula onto there. Now what we're basically doing is just putting a shiny coat over our smooth coat. So I mixed too much, but that's because I got other projects going on. So we're going to take this tiny bit of epoxy and we're going to rub it. And I'm not even worried about that middle hole because there's not enough epoxy to make a problem. This is really just a shiny coat on the surface because we sanded it down and it kind of dulled the sparkle of the glitter. So we're just taking this and basically rubbing it along. This layer will not drip because it's going to be super duper thin. This is an actual real legitimate hang layer. It's very thin. It's just enough to make it shiny and coat. All right, just like that. Perfect. All right, so there we go. Now we're just going to check it. Make sure everything is nice and shiny. Right along the edge, and there we go. So we're just going to let this sit and process just like normal, and we'll let it cure up for 3 days, and then we'll be done. All right, guys, see you soon. All right, guys, this cup is now done. It's so pretty. Like 4 or 5 people have seen this cup and want this cup. I just like it. It's got a lot of color on it. It looks really elegant. It's beautiful. The wording is gorgeous. You can put any decal you want on it. You can put the stripe around the middle, then put someone's name on top of it. There's so many different applications. You can use any different colors you want. These are just the colors that I chose for this cup. I thought they would be fun. But this is just a technique to show you how to do the fun little middle ombre with the different colors and how to just make a different style cup. Also, this was a tutorial on how to show you how to work with these stainless steel tumblers that have the stainless steel tops on them with the straws. So I hope you guys learned a lot of tips on this tutorial. I tried to show you some new techniques with the straw in the middle and how to work with the tops. Also how to use the electrical tape to go around your cups. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys on the next tutorial. Bye, guys.